If I can figure it out, you too can figure it out. With simple motive, let's begin our discussion for hypersensitivity type 2 reaction. And while talking about hypersensitivity type 2 reaction, the important thing that we should know is it is also called cytolytic hypersensitivity reaction. What I said is cytolytic. From what it is clear, cytolytic, that means cell lysis. The hypersensitivity type 2 reaction proceeds following cell lysis. So we can understand one simple fact, and that is hypersensitivity reaction is in hypersensitivity type 2 reactions, the classical finding that we find is there is production of antibody against specific tissues, that means against fixed tissues. That means there will be what? Antibody formation against fixed tissues, and eventually this will cause tissue destruction. Okay, hypersensitivity type 2 reaction proceeds through a different mechanism, and and we are going to mention each of them in detail. So the first mechanism that we are going to discuss is opsonization and phagocytosis. Okay, the first one that we are going to discuss is opsonization and phagocytosis. Let me write it here. Opsonization and phagocytosis. Talking about opsonization and phagocytosis, we have discussed opsonization in previous lectures also. Opsonization means the process of making cell tastier, and phagocytosis simply means the process of engulfing, process of engulfment, right? Okay, now under opsonization and phagocytosis, the diagram that you can see right here, it is the opsonization and phagocytosis, and this is diagram from 10th edition's Robbins, and we will go in this diagram after we discuss in our own way. So under opsonization and phagocytosis, the first mechanism that we are going to talk is direct antibody mediated opsonization. Okay, what I'm going to write is it is direct antibody formation opsonization. Okay, we can say direct antibody mediated opsonization. Okay, from the word it is clear, direct antibody mediated opsonization that is occurred with the help of antibody, directly antibody. Okay, here the thing that we need to know is let us suppose we have target antigen. That means this is our antigen, and as antigen enters in our body, there will be the formation of what? There will be the formation of antibody, and this is antibody. In a nutshell, we can say that this is antigen that is surrounded or that is encoded by antibody. Antigen is covered by antibody, and while speaking this type of antibody, this is IgG. And if we recall our discussion, then we will remember that this IgG is what? This IgG is opsonin. Okay, opsonin. That means this IgG will coat around this antigen, and it will make this antigen tastier. And as it is opsonin, this will cause when these antigen covered by these antibody pass through circulation, then they will be immediately taken upon by phagocytes, okay, into circulation. When these pass through circulation, let me write here circulation, then these will be taken up by phagocytes. And what are the example of phagocytes? These are neutrophils and macrophages. So this was what? This was directly antibody was mediating opsonization, right? Now the next process or the next topic that we would discuss is the next mechanism, and we are under the topic of opsonization and phagocytosis. So the another mechanism under this topic is ADCC. Now what is this ADCC? The ADCC is antibody dependent cell mediated cytotoxicity. Antibody mediated or dependent cell mediated cytotoxicity. Okay, now what is this? Okay, from the word it is clear that cytotoxicity, as we have already said, this hypersensitivity type 2 reactions, it is also called what? What it is called? We have said that it is also called cytolytic, right? Lysis of cell. Okay, here we can see that ADCC, antibody dependent cell mediated cytotoxicity that occurs through the help of what? Antibody, right? Antibody dependent cells. Okay, the thing that we are going to discuss here is, okay, let us draw antigen. This is our antigen, and this antigen is coated by what? This antigen is coated by our antibody. This is our antibody. Antigen coated by antibody. And if we remember the topic of, I think, B cell, in topic of B cells, where we have discussed that the end of antibody contains what? Fc portion, right? Fc portion. Let us suppose here this antibody which is coating antigen is IgG. Okay, this is it. In the lecture of NK cells, in NK cells, if you remember, this is our NK cells, and these NK cells were having receptor. These NK cells were having receptor for Fc portion of antibody. These are the receptors, right? These are the receptors. And what are these receptors? These are the receptor for Fc portion. Where is Fc portion? This is the Fc portion of antibody. Okay, that means these NK cell will receive what? These NK cell will receive antibody with the help of its Fc receptor. And we have already discussed that this antibody is encysting, or this is covering what? This is covering our antigen. Now we can see that these NK cells have got antigen these NK cells have got antigen that are coated by what? Antibodies. That is all. Now what will happen is these NK cell will phagocyte, or they will destroy these antigens. That's all. And this process is ADCC. Okay, how it is ADCC? Now we can see that antibody dependent cell mediated cytotoxicity. That means this is antibody dependent. What is this? This is antibody, right? This is antibody dependent cell mediated cytotoxicity. Okay, here we are performing this with the help of what? Antibody. That is all what ADCC is. Now let us proceed toward the discussion of what we will have discussion on opsonization and phagocytosis through complement activations. What? Through or via complement activation. That means here what will happen is, as mentioned earlier, we have what? We have antigen, right? This is our antigen, and this antigen is coated by what? Our antibodies. And these antigen which are coated by antibody will cause what? These will cause activation of complement system. What I said is this will cause activation of of complement system. When this complement system, okay, this is our complement system which is in activated form, right? When these complement system are activated, then there will be what? There will be release of our different complement systems mediator such as C3b, right? C3b, and also there will be release of MAC. What is this MAC? Membrane attack complex, right? This is membrane attack complex. And if you recall our discussion, then we will find that this C3b is what? This C3b is example of opsonin protein. Example of opsonin protein. This is the example of opsonin protein. Okay. Finally, now through this C3b and through this membrane attack complex, and what is this membrane attack complex? This membrane attack complex is the procedure, or we can say it is the mechanism in which there is going to be destruction of membrane of target antigen. Then this will cause the destruction of target antigen. Destruction of target antigen, right? And here since C3b provide, it is a opsonin protein, it will also cause what? It will also cause what? It will cause antigen destruction. Okay, this will cause antigen destruction. Now we have learned under the topic of opsonization and phagocytosis, we have learned three different mechanisms by which this proceeds, right? One was direct antibody mediated opsonization, another was ADCC, antibody dependent cell mediated cytotoxicity, and another was through complement action. Okay, if we have view on this diagram which is provided on book, then we'll see that this is the one in blue color. This is what? This is our antigen, right? This is our antigen. This is our antigen, and this is our antigen, and this antigen is coated by antibodies. You can see here these are coated by antibodies, right? You can see right here these are coated by antibodies. Now what is going on here is at the end, I mean you can see at the end these are the Fc portion of antibodies, right? These are the Fc portion of antibody, and here we can see on the surface of phagocyte, we can see these are the Fc receptor. These Fc receptor what they are doing are they are receiving the Fc portion of antibody, and because of which they will engulf this whole antigen which is coated by antibody, right? Here you can see these are being involved by phagocytes, and finally you can see phagocytized cell, right? And the process phagocytosis. This was what? Opsonization and phagocytosis. This was the first mechanism, or this was the first mechanism through which hypersensitivity type 2 reaction is proceeding. Now let us move toward the different example through which this opsonization and phagocytosis process lead to cause hypersensitivity type 2 reaction. Okay, talking about different example, we have got the RH incompatibility. What I said is RH incompatibility. Okay, talking about RH incompatibility, what is RH incompatibility? Okay, in RH incompatibility we can see that there is antigen difference between mother and fetus, right? There is difference in antigen between mother and fetus, and IgG antibody, right? The IgG antibody, which is anti-erythrocytic antibody, will go from mother to fetus through placenta, and it will cause the lysis of RBCs of fetal, right? There was difference in antigen of mother and children, because of which there was the formation of anti-erythrocytes. What these anti-erythrocytes were doing, they were moving from mother to fetus with the help of placenta, and in fetus they were destroying the membrane of RBC of fetus. That is what the RH incompatibility is. Yeah, we can see type 2 hypersensitivity reaction following the mechanism of opsonization and phagocytosis in RH incompatibility. Similarly, we can see these things in mismatched blood transfusion. And talking about mismatched blood transfusion, right, we can say transfusion reaction, we can say. Okay, during this time also we can see type 2 hypersensitivity reaction. Another one is autoimmune hemolytic anemia. What I said is autoimmune hemolytic anemia. Okay, what is this? In autoimmune hemolytic anemia, there is the formation of antibody against RBC antigen, because of which it starts killing its one RBCs. There is the formation of antibody against RBC antigen. Okay, that was what the autoimmune hemolytic anemia was. Similarly, we will find the autoimmune thrombocytopenia. Autoimmune thrombocytopenia. What is this? Similarly, as above, there was the formation of antibody against what? Against what? RBC antigen. And here we will find the antibody against the antigen of what? Platelets. Okay, that's all. That's all. Okay, now discussing about another point, we will find that there will be autoimmune leukopenia. What? Autoimmune leukopenia. Similarly, against WBC, right? Okay, now this was all about what? This was all about opsonization and phagocytosis. Now proceeding forward, we will find that there is next mechanism. And what is the next mechanism? The next mechanism is complement activation and induction of inflammation. Complement activation and induction of inflammation. Okay, let me write it. Complement activation. Okay, the next procedure we will write it B. And what is this B? This B is complement activation, right? Complement activation and induction of inflammation. Induction of inflammation. Okay, now what we are going to study here, right? This is the another mechanism by which hypersensitivity type 2 reaction will proceed. Now talking about this, we have antigen. But we have antigen, right? This is our antigen. This antigen, what it will do is it will cause the formation of antibody against antigen. Obviously this is antigen. Okay, now this process will cause the activation of what? It will cause the activation of complement system, C system activation. Complement system activation. Now as complement system activates, there will be the formation of what? There will be the formation of C5a, and also there will be the formation of C3a. Okay, there will be the formation, or there will be the release of C5a and C3a. Let me write it here. Release of C5a and C3a. Now what are these C5a and C3a? If we remember, then we'll find out this C5a. What is this C5a? This is chemotactic molecule. What I said is this is chemotactic molecule. It is chemotactic molecule because its action, it is causing the influx of what? It is causing the influx of phagocytes. And what are the phagocytes? Neutrophils and macrophages, right? Now this will they will cause increase in influx of neutrophils and macrophages, right? And what these neutrophil and macrophages will do? They will cause release of, right? Okay, they will cause release of what? Release of inflammatory chemicals. inflammatory chemicals. And what these inflammatory chemicals will do, these inflammatory chemicals will cause, what they will cause, they will cause eventually tissue damage. This will cause what? Tissue damage. What was this? This was the complement activation and induction of inflammation, right? Here we can see this was the complement activation, and we can see the inflammation that was eventually causing tissue damage. Okay, if we look here, then we will find complement and Fc receptor mediated inflammation. We can see this was the Fc receptor, right? This was the Fc receptor, and what is mentioned here, this is the phagocyte, this is the Fc receptor, and we can see these are, what are these? These are the antigens, and these antigens are coated by what? Antibodies, and the Fc portion of these antibodies are received by what? These are received by phagocytes, and the phagocytes are neutrophils and macrophages. And while doing this, there was what? There was the activation of complement system. As the complement system activates, the complement byproduct are formed. What are they? They are C5a and C3a, right? And what are these C5a and C3a? They are chemotactic molecules. And as they are chemotactic molecules, they cause the release of what? Inflammatory chemicals, right? Inflammatory chemicals. And what these inflammatory chemicals do? They eventually cause what? They eventually cause tissue injury, right? Tissue damage. That is all what we need to know about this one, the mechanism number 2, complement activation and induction of inflammation. Okay, now before proceeding forward, we need to know the various example that proceeds through this mechanism, and the various example that we need to know are, acute rheumatic fever, right? Acute rheumatic fever. What will happen in this acute rheumatic fever is there will be bacterial infection, or bacteria will infiltrate in our body, right? The bacteria will infiltrate in our body, causing sore throat. Okay, let us talk about acute rheumatic fever in detail. Okay, what will happen here is, let us take one children. What is that children? What is happening in the children? The children is suffering from what? Sore throat. That children is suffering from sore throat, and the reason for sore throat, in maximum case, the reason for sore throat is viral infection, but the reason for sore throat is what? Streptococcus pyogenes. Okay. Here the cause of sore throat is Streptococcus pyogenes. It is causing sore throat in children. It is the example of bacteria, right? What this Streptococcus pyogen does is, as it enters the body, it will cause release of M protein. What I said is M protein. It will cause the release of M protein, right? Now our body, the defense mechanism of our body, will detect this M protein, and they will start developing antibody against this M protein. Antibody formation will start against what? M protein, to remove this M protein or to degrade this M protein. But the problem arises because of one fact, that these M protein are similar to the glycoprotein present in different part of our body, different organ of our body. Okay, that means this antibody was formed against M protein. But since this M protein is what? Structurally similar. What I said is, these are similar. These are similar to what? These are similar to glycoprotein of different organ of our body. Okay, that means similar to what? Glycoprotein of, especially what? Of heart, cardiac tissues. Similarly of joints, of CNS, similarly of skins, right? These glycoproteins of heart, joint, CNS and skin, they are similar to M protein. That means now the antibody that was formed against M protein will also act upon these normal cells, right? These normal cells. such as there was what, there was 100 antibody formed, right? If these M protein were not similar to these glycoprotein these glycoprotein of heart, then all 100 antibody will be acted against what, M protein. But here, due to the similarity, 50 will be acting toward M protein and other 50 will be acting toward what, these glycoprotein of heart, joint, CNS and skins, and these arises different complications, right? Okay, now since we have said that there is similarity between M protein and glycoprotein of heart, joint, CNS and skin, this condition is called molecular mimicry. MOLECULAR, molecular mimicry. Molecular mimicry, right? Okay. Here we can see that because of these things there arises the condition of what, there arises the condition of acute rheumatic fever. Okay. Okay, now several other examples of several other example of disease that arises because of which mechanism complement Fc receptor mediated inflammation are, these are your Goodpasture syndromes. Okay, another example is Goodpasture syndrome. Goodpasture syndrome. Similarly, the other disease that will follow the same mechanism is ENCA. Okay, we'll at the end of this lecture we will be talking about all these things in briefly through the table that is given in Robbins, so don't worry, this will again be repeated. And ENCA mediated vasculitis. Okay, these are the diseases that will follow this mechanism, complement and Fc receptor mediated inflammation. Okay, we talked about two mechanisms, and these two mechanisms are opsonization and phagocytosis. One was the opsonization and phagocytosis, and the another was complement activation and induction of inflammations. Okay, now let us proceed further. And another mechanism, right, another mechanism that we are going to talk is antibody induced tissue destruction dysfunctions, especially it is dysfunction. What I said is this is antibody, another is antibody induced tissue dysfunction. Okay, right? Okay, let us mention the examples that we are going to learn here. I mean the diseases that are proceeding through this mechanism. And talking about that, one of the most important example that we need to learn is myasthenia gravis. Myasthenia gravis. Similarly, another important example is Graves' disease, and the other is pernicious anemia, and the last one is insulin resistant diabetes. Okay, to understand this antibody induced tissue dysfunction, we need to we'll take one example, and that example is about myasthenia gravis. Let us focus toward myasthenia gravis. In myasthenia gravis, okay, let us talk about the normal condition. Normally, let us take, this is the nerve ending, right? What is this? Okay, let me draw it again. This is our nerve ending, right? What this nerve ending is consisting is, there are several vessels. These are the vessels, and inside these vessels there are what? There are neurotransmitter. And what are these neurotransmitter? These are acetylcholines, right? These are acetylcholines, ACH, right? This is nerve ending. This is, what is this? This is nerve ending. This is the nerve ending, right? This is the nerve ending. Now this ACH will be released. This ACH will be released, right? This ACH will be released, and they will go and bind they will go and bind to its receptors. There are several receptors. These are the receptors. What are these? These are receptors for what? Acetylcholine. These will go and bind on these receptors. Let us say these receptors. And what is this? This is the muscle plate. This is the muscle plate. Muscle plate, right? Okay. And this is the normal condition, and this will come and bind in its receptor, and this will cause what? Muscle contraction. Muscle contraction. But in this condition, that means antibody induced tissue dysfunction, or in myasthenia gravis, what will happen is there will be antibody formation against these receptors. That means there will be what? There will be antibody formation. Antibody will be formed, and they will come and bind in these receptors. They will come and bind in this receptor, because of which there won't be what? There won't be site for ACH to attach, because of which this muscle plate will not contract, and that is what? It will cause the muscle weakness. It will cause what? Muscle weakness. Okay, right? These are, what are these? These are antibody. They will have competitive. They are competitive. They are competitive with ACH, right? They are what? Competitive with ACH. With ACH. Why they are competitive with ACH? Because they have what? Similar structure. Similar structure. Okay. Now these muscles cannot contract, and this will eventually cause the muscle weakness. And this is the example of what? This is the example of antibody induced tissue dysfunction. That means here the muscle is not able to stretch. That's why it is causing the dysfunction of tissue, right? This was one example. I think we understood what is this antibody induced tissue dysfunction. There was antibody that was leading to tissue dysfunction, eventually leading to muscle weakness. Okay, these were what? Okay, we can see the diagram here. This is the diagram for antibody induced muscle cellular dysfunction. We can see this is the nerve ending that we can see right here. This is the nerve ending, right? This is the nerve ending. These are the vessels. These are the vessels that contains what? That contains acetylcholine within it. Acetylcholines are the neurotransmitters. These acetylcholines, they were released, right? They were released into what? Synaptic cleft, right? And these were meant to bind where? In these ACH receptor, but here there are formation of what? Antibodies. That antibodies will come and bind in these receptors, the receptor for ACH, because of which these, right, this muscle will not be able to contract. Eventually there will be muscle weakness, and that is what it is, the tissue dysfunction. Okay, we learned about what? We learned about this mechanism also, antibody induced tissue dysfunction. Now let us learn, or let us focus on mnemonics that will help us to memorize different examples of disease that will follow what? Hypersensitivity type 2 reaction examples. Okay, to remember example, the thing that we'll do is we'll remember this simple thing, right? Blood group is what? RH positive. Okay, what from M? The thing that comes from M is, obviously, it is what? It is myasthenia gravis. MYASTHENIA, myasthenia gravis. And what from blood? Obviously, blood transfusion. Blood transfusion reaction. What from group? This is Goodpasture syndrome, right? And another is also there, that is Graves' disease. And what from is, and we have got immune hemolytic anemia and immune thrombocytopenia. Immune hemolytic actually it is autoimmune hemolytic anemia, but we'll memorize it in this way, hemolytic anemia. And another one is immune thrombocytopenia. Thrombocytopenia. And from R, obviously we have talked a bit in detail, rheumatic fever. Rheumatic fever. And from H we have hyperacute transplant rejection. Hyperacute transplant rejection. And from P we can say it is pernicious anemia. Pernicious anemia. And also, okay, pernicious anemia. In pernicious anemia, what will happen is there will be antibody that will not allow the proper absorption of vitamin B12, and there will be pemphigus vulgaris. Okay, these are the examples that will follow what? Type 2 hypersensitivity reaction. Now, as I have said you earlier, that we will be talking about what? About several DJs that will occur through the mechanism of type 2 hypersensitivity. Talking about the several DJs, we'll go quickly. The first thing is, what is the first thing? We can see the first thing is autoimmune hemolytic anemia. And the target antigen for autoimmune hemolytic anemia is what? The red cell membrane proteins, RS blood group antigens, right? These were. And mechanism of action was opsonization and phagocytosis of red cells, as we have already said in earlier, where we have said the first point, right? Opsonization. Here we have said, what we have said is autoimmune hemolytic anemia. Okay, what we said is, we were talking here about autoimmune hemolytic anemia. It is the same condition, right? Look, what is this? Mechanism of opsonization and phagocytosis of red cells, right? And the clinical manifestation, what we will see? We will see the hemolysis and we will see the anemia, right? Similarly, autoimmune thrombocytopenic purpura. I have already said that. And same thing, we have discussed this also, where we have discussed this one. And here the target antigen will be what? Platelet, right? Platelet membrane. And the protein of platelet are what? Glycoprotein second and third A integrins. And the mechanism here is same, right? But here it will be platelet, obviously, and the clinical manifestation will be bleeding. That's all. Now similarly, pemphigus vulgaris. And pemphigus vulgaris, here the target antigen will be desmoglins. What are these desmoglins? These are protein in intercellular junction of epidermal cell. Okay, and here the mechanism of action is what? Antibody mediated activation of proteases, disruption of intercellular adhesion. There won't be adhesion, right? The adhesion which was meant to bring the two epithelial cells will not be there. Okay, that's all. And the clinical manifestation that we'll see here is the skin vesicles. They are also called villi. Similarly, the another one is vasculitis caused by ANCA. And what are these ANCA? These are anti-neutrophil cytoplasmic antibody. Okay. And here the target organ, the target place is what? Neutrophil granule proteins, which are released from activated neutrophils, right? We're talking about neutrophils here. Vasculitis caused by what? Neutrophils, right? Okay, antibodies are neutrophils, and the process that will cause this is neutrophil degranulation and inflammation. Okay, and this will eventually lead to vasculitis, inflammation of vessels, right? And Goodpasture syndrome. Here the target antigen are what? Non-cholinesterase protein in basement membrane of what? Kidney, glomeruli and lungs alveoli, right? We are here, the antigen that will be targeted is what? Non-collagenous protein. And these non-collagenous protein, where are they present? They are present in kidney and in lungs alveoli. And the mechanism how this will occur is complement and Fc receptor mediated inflammation. Okay, we have mentioned it earlier. It will cause, since these were present in what? Kidney and in lungs, it will cause nephritis and lung hemorrhage. That's all. Now another, acute rheumatic fever. We have talked in a bit more about this, and the target antigen are streptococcal cell wall antigen. What was that? That was M protein, right? Antibody cross reacts with myocardial antigen, but it will cross react with myocardial antigen because myocardial cell contains glycoprotein that were structurally similar to what? M protein. That is the reason behind it. And the process by which this will proceed is, it will proceed by inflammation and macrophage activation, right? And it will cause myocarditis and arthritis. Okay. Similarly, myasthenia gravis, the target antigen is acetylcholine receptor. Okay, and here the process that how it will proceed is, antibody inhibits acetylcholine binding down modulates receptors. Okay, that means antibody inhibits what? Acetylcholine binding. Obviously, there were antibody that were coming in the site where acetylcholine were supposed to be coming. So here the pathological manifestations are muscle weakness and paralysis. Similarly, the second last is Graves' disease, and here the antigen that is targeted is TSH receptor, thyroid stimulating hormone receptor, because of which there will be excessive stimulation of TSH receptor, right? And this excessive stimulation will cause hyperthyroidism. Excessive amount of thyroxine is released, causing hyperthyroidism. Similarly, the last but not the least, pernicious anemia, right? And here the target antigen are intrinsic factor of gastric parietal cells, right? And this will cause what? This will cause the less or reduce in absorption of what? Vitamin B12. And here the mechanism by which this will proceed is neutralization of intrinsic factor, decrease absorption of vitamin B12. Yes, we have already said. And this will cause what? This will cause abnormal erythropoiesis and anemia. Okay, we have completed our topic on what? Type 2 hypersensitivity reaction, and this is all about the hypersensitivity reaction type 2. Now the further class we will be talking about type 3 hypersensitivity reactions. This was for today. Have a great day.